Urgent Cleveland Browns fans. Do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because here, we bring you daily videos with the latest Cleveland Browns updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. Hey there, Browns fans! Today, we have a story that's been making waves across the NFL community, and it's all about one of the most intriguing developments in the 2025 NFL Draft. Yes, we're talking about the unexpected slip of Shedeur Sanders, the talented quarterback from Colorado, into the 5th round. Now, if you've been following the Browns closely, you know they've been quietly building a team that's hungry for success, and this draft pick has definitely sparked a lot of questions, debates, and excitement among fans and analysts alike. So, what really happened? How did Shedeur Sanders fall so far down the draft board? And what does this mean for the Browns and the NFL as a whole? Well, buckle up, because we're about to dive deep into this story, uncover the reasons behind his fall, and explore what the Browns see in this promising young quarterback. First, let's set the stage for those who might not be fully caught up. Shedeur Sanders, son of the legendary Hall of Famer Deion Sanders, made a splash at Colorado, transforming their offense with his arm and football IQ. Last season, he threw for over 400 yards and 37 touchdowns, showing remarkable poise and talent for someone so young. Coming into the draft, many experts projected him as a potential first-round pick, some even had him in the top 10 overall. So, naturally, when the draft started, everyone was watching where he would land. But then, something surprising happened. Despite his talent, Shedeur was passed on not just once, but multiple times, until the 5th round, where the Cleveland Browns finally decided to make him their pick at number 144 overall. Now, I know a lot of Browns fans might be scratching their heads and asking, why did he slip so far? Well, that's exactly what Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski addressed recently during an interview with We Need to Talk. When asked about why Shedeur Sanders fell so far in the draft, Stefanski gave a very measured and insightful response. He said, "I really think it's up to every team to make those decisions on when they're taking guys and what positions they value and that kind of thing." Essentially, he was emphasizing that draft decisions are extremely complex, influenced by team needs, evaluations, and sometimes just the overall perception of a player's readiness or fit. Stefanski went on to say that, clearly he has the talent to go higher in the draft. He didn't. And that's a key point. Talent-wise, there's no doubt that Shedeur has what it takes to succeed at the NFL level. But the draft isn't always about pure talent, it's about how teams see the player fitting into their plans, their system, and their long-term vision. There are many factors at play: injury history, level of competition faced in college, mechanics, decision-making under pressure, and even off-field considerations. And in Shedeur's case, perhaps teams had questions about his transition from college to NFL, or maybe there were concerns about his experience at a major program compared to other prospects. Kevin Stefanski highlighted that, "It's our job right now to dive into the things where we can help him," which shows the Browns' approach. They see potential, and they're willing to invest in development. That's a very important mindset, especially for a young quarterback coming into the league. The Browns spent ample time with Shedeur before the draft, getting to know him, watching film, and assessing his readiness. Despite passing on him 6 times, they finally pulled the trigger in the 7th round, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes, players who slip have a chip on their shoulder, a hunger to prove critics wrong, and an incredible work ethic, things that Stefanski believes Shedeur possesses. And speaking of Stefanski, he's been quite clear about his confidence in Shedeur's abilities and character. "None of these guys are finished products," he said, "and Shedeur certainly has things he can work on, but in terms of the person, in terms of the kid who's willing to work, I think that's who we're getting." That's a powerful statement. It shows that the Browns aren't just looking at the shiny tape or the stats, but at the person behind the helmet, the attitude, the drive, the willingness to improve. That's often what separates good NFL players from great ones. Now, let's talk about the current Browns quarterback room. It's quite competitive right now, with seasoned veterans like Joe Flacco and Deshaun Watson, along with promising talents like Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel. But, as Stefanski mentioned, once you're in the building, where you were drafted or how much experience you have doesn't really matter. What matters is your ability to learn, adapt, and contribute. Shedeur Sanders, despite being a fifth-round pick, has a real shot to carve out a role for himself, especially given his college production and his physical tools. Stefanski also pointed out that the Browns did a thorough job in their evaluation process, visiting Colorado, attending games, watching tape from Jackson State to Colorado, and even traveling to the East-West Shrine game to see him in action. This comprehensive approach indicates they're serious about developing him and giving him every chance to succeed. It's worth noting that many successful NFL quarterbacks weren't first-round picks or even highly touted coming out of college. Some of the greatest have been late-round gems or overlooked prospects who worked tirelessly to reach their potential. So, what can Browns fans expect moving forward? Well, Shedeur's journey is just beginning. He'll have to earn his spot in the crowded quarterback room through hard work, learning from the veterans, and showcasing his talent during training camp and the preseason. But don't forget, he has a unique background. Coming from a program like Colorado, where he faced high-pressure situations and showcased his ability to lead comebacks and throw precise passes, he's got the mental toughness and confidence that NFL teams look for. Plus, his arm talent and football intelligence are undeniable. Looking at the bigger picture, the Browns are in an interesting position. They're a team on the rise, with a solid defense and a versatile offense led by Deshaun Watson, who's still looking to find his consistency after some tumultuous seasons. Adding a young, talented quarterback like Shedeur Sanders could be a strategic move for the future, especially if Watson ever struggles to maintain peak performance or if they want to develop a reliable backup or even a future starter. The Browns' history with quarterbacks has been a roller coaster, but they're now investing in youth and talent, building a pipeline that could pay dividends down the line. Now, some skeptics might wonder if drafting Shedeur so late indicates doubts about his NFL readiness or concerns about his transition. But Stefanski's comments suggest otherwise. They see a player with the right work ethic, a good head on his shoulders, and the physical tools to succeed. It's all about development, patience, and giving him the opportunities to grow within the Browns system. Remember, players like Dak Prescott, Russell Wilson, and even late-round picks like Tom Brady proved that draft position isn't everything. It's about how you develop and how much you want it. And here's an important point, the Browns' decision to draft Shedeur in the 5th round also reflects their confidence in their coaching staff and their scouting process. They saw potential where others might have overlooked, and that's a mark of a well-run organization. They're not just looking for immediate starters, they're building a future, and they believe Shedeur Sanders can be part of that vision. It's an exciting prospect for fans who love seeing young talent develop and thrive in Cleveland. As we look ahead to the upcoming season, the question remains about how Shedeur will fit into the bigger picture. Will he be the backup, the developmental project, or could he surprise everyone and earn a spot as a future starter? That remains to be seen, but one thing is clear, the Browns are willing to be patient and invest in his growth. This is a team that values grit, talent, and the willingness to work, and Shedeur embodies those qualities. In the broader context of NFL draft history, stories like these are what make the sport so fascinating. Sometimes, players who slip through the cracks end up having the most compelling careers. Think of players like Tom Brady, who was a 6th-round pick, or later-round quarterbacks who eventually became stars. The NFL is all about opportunity, development, and the right environment. Cleveland, with its passionate fanbase and dedicated coaching staff, could be the perfect place for Shedeur Sanders to carve out his path. So, Browns fans, keep your eyes on this story. The journey of Shedeur Sanders is just beginning, and if his college tape is any indication, he has the talent and mindset to carve out a significant role in the NFL. Whether he ends up as a backup, a future starter, or even a key contributor in certain situations, one thing is for sure, they've got a promising young quarterback in Cleveland whose story is still being written. The Browns are betting on his potential, and with the right guidance and dedication, he could very well become a household name in the league. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Are you excited about Shedeur Sanders' future in Cleveland? Do you think he has what it takes to be a starter someday? Or do you believe he's more of a developmental project? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Browns' future. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for everything Cleveland Browns. The journey is just getting started, and it's going to be an exciting ride ahead. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Browns!